I'm sure. All right, folks, here we are. Thanks for tuning in to the River Channel for tonight's Big Rivers Conference soccer matchup between the visiting Eau Claire North Huskies in white, playing from right to left on your screen, and the hometown Hudson Raiders in blue with the pink socks tonight, playing from left to right on your screen. This is the second conference match for the Raiders this year. They started off winning their first match 4-0, and then had a game last week. Supposed to play New Richmond, but the weather was not conducive. There's a nice little cross ball in there by Lindsay Ferrara. He's kicked out of bounds. Will be a corner kick for the Raiders. But so the Raiders had a week of training last week and are tuned in for tonight's matchup. Comes the quarter kick for the Raiders. Looks like number 7, Maggie McConnell, is lining up solo to take this kick. Whole group of Raiders waiting outside the box to move in on that ball. It's a nice ball there. Good header out by number 3, Rebecca Renslow of the Huskies. And the Raiders send that ball out of bounds. Will be a Huskies throw-in, and the Huskies able to avoid any damage on that corner kick. It's a cool, drizzly night here in Hudson, Wisconsin on the St. Croix River, but not a bad night for soccer. If the rain holds off, it'll be fairly pleasant for the players because it's cool enough to not get too hot, but not so cold that that they're freezing down there. It's a nice through ball. Are we going to catch it? Just in time. Nice left-footed cross. Raiders had a little too much. They over-pursued that a bit, and Huskies are able to clear the ball. Raiders defense holds strong. It'll get a throw in here to avoid that attack by the Huskies. As usual, folks, the River Channel is broadcasting here on YouTube and on the River Channel Facebook site, I believe, and we certainly appreciate everyone tuning in. And if you are watching on YouTube, please drop a note in the chat when you can. Let me know who you are, who you're watching, and where you're from. It's always fun to shout out our visitors who are tuning in all over the country, whether it's for Eau Claire or for Hudson. Equal opportunity here. So. Tillman sends a nice left ball up the sideline, trying to hit Sophie Bass there, who's now sending it up to Lindsay Ferrara. Raiders have had, despite the New Richmond game being canceled, they've had a number of other games, though. They actually, this is their third match of the conference. I forgot they did play Superior about 2 weeks ago, up in Superior, so that was not a game that River Channel could broadcast. It's a little out of our driving range. It's a nice blast in by Tillman. Ooh, really nice play. Maggie Salama there trying to meet that ball, but kind of took a high bounce on Maggie there. Tough to play that, but the Raiders were victorious though on the long road trip up to Superior, taking the victory 2-1 there with Ransonici and Ramthan scoring for the Raiders. And then that was a Thursday night game, and then they headed down to more central Wisconsin and played DC Everest on April 11th, which was a victory for the Raiders, a 3-2 victory with scoring by Ramthan, Sophie Bast, and Ava Brown. And then that was a Friday match, sorry. And then on Saturday, April 12th, they played Marshfield, and held on to a 1-0 victory there. So Raiders are starting off 4-0 this season, and they've had some big wins, 4-0, and then they've had some tight wins. So it's a good combination, and they're playing some talented teams, and it's going to be fun to watch them play this year. Here comes Salama with the throw. Brought it back to Holter, who ran into a little bit of trouble there, and then McConnell sends it over to Tillman. Plays it up to Reyna Fort. Ran into some defense there. Nice two-person defense there by the Huskies, but really solid defensive play there. That was Lily Rouleau. Kept it alive, and now Salama with a little chip shot in. That's nice. Oh, really well played by the Eau Claire goalkeeper. That's Maddie Sorensen, a sophomore. Really nice play there, because that was looking like a sure goal if she hadn't put that hit on the ball to punch it out. Salama sneaks around her defender. It's going to try to send another chip in. Sneaks a lower one across, but again, headed out. Eau Claire's defense being challenged quite a bit in this first 7 minutes of the match, and holding strong so far. Here's Britta Holter with the throw. Into Ransonici, who's taking a step and resetting, and she's going to try to send a little left-footed chip around, but sends it wide, and that'll be a goal kick for the Huskies. You notice the Raiders wearing pink, and it looks like they're warm-up jerseys for both teams in honor of Kick Cancer Night tonight, where the girls are paying respects to family members and friends who have suffered from cancer in their lives, and raising some funds at tonight's game for the local Rhino organization that supports cancer survivors here in the St. Croix Valley. All right, there's Holter picking off that pass, but Eau Claire playing some tough defense in the middle of the field to win the ball back, and then the Raiders take it again. A little back and forth there. Maggie McConnell with a solid take and move there to get back to space. Wisely brings it back to her defensive team. That ball snuck out, kind of an errant ball there. It is wet on the field, and that ball can move a little faster, a little more unpredictably, despite it being a very nice field. It's definitely not like playing on grass anymore. Trading throw-ins here, and we'll see if we can get back to some ball movement now. Sophie Bast on the far side getting challenged by the defense, and the Raiders will have a throw-in, and Tillman's coming over to take that throw. We were supposed to have some ball chasers, but it looks like we didn't get any tonight. You see any, Mr. Chuckle? Just a couple. We're supposed to have a couple teams on here tonight, but it looks like we don't have them. So that's all right. We have some nice volunteers down there chasing some balls. I guess we see 3 or 4 kids. Big clear by the Huskies, taken by Holter. Pursues it nicely and keeps control. Cuts it back. Brings it back to Tillman. Huskies challenging, trying to keep that ball in their offensive end and win it back. Salama getting challenged on the side and fights back and takes it. Tries to put it up the middle, but nicely played by Huskies defense there. Some kind of call there. I missed what the infraction was, but the referee certainly didn't miss it and made the call, and we'll have a free kick here for the Huskies. Maybe an inadvertent handball. I think I maybe saw him tap his arm, and neither team getting much going offensively yet. Raiders getting the ball down in the scoring area several times, but no true threat other than a close header, but that was swiped away by Eau Claire's goalkeeper before it could do anything. So teams are feeling each other out. I'd say the Raiders are owning the time of possession game here. In for your Raiders, number 22, Natalie Ramthen. So Maggie Salama, who had a good 12-minute run there. Lots of action, lots of battling for the ball, is going to get a little break as Ramthen joins the match now. And we'll see what the Raiders can do with a little different offensive firepower here. Looks like Ferrara is going to move to the right wing, and Ramthen will play the center. Sophie Bass now on the right side here for midfield as well. Huskies go for a clear there, but not able to get much on it. And that Raiders almost made them pay, but a really strong takeaway there by the Huskies. Midfield, can't see the number 3, Rebecca Renslow. Really great takeaway there. Renslow a little aggressive that time from behind, and Raiders will get a free kick there on the foul. Maggie McConnell lining up to take this kick. This will play this somewhat like a corner kick. Can have a little easier angle, and they're going to probably put it right around the I or the D on the Raiders in the end zone there and see what they can do. That ball got away from her a little bit. I don't think she wanted to put it there, but easily managed by Huskies goalkeeper Rebecca Renslow, who gives it a big punt and see what her offense can do to get that ball out of the defensive end. And now the Huskies got a chance to push it up here. It's a nice little through ball. Kicked out by Nevaeh Tillman, and that'll be a Raiders throw-in deep in their own territory. We're about 14 and a half minutes into the match. Our score 0-0. Huskies take a blast from it's a tough angle over there. I don't know if they're trying to cross it or shoot it, but they get a solid foot on it, but sends it wide. And that'll be a goal kick for the Raiders. Landhammer with the kick. Sends the ball, nice ball up the middle. Rampton there, it eventually takes it, but takes a tough bounce off her foot. McConnell with a nice step up there on defense. Sends the ball out nicely. It's Ava Brown over there, bringing it up, sends it across. Tough angle there, sends it into the goalkeeper, and again, Rebecca Renslow holds in the goal for the Huskies, and Eau Claire avoids another Raider attack there, but here comes Rampton again. She's got a little time and space. She takes it, resets, sends a big ball across a little wide, gets it out to Sophie Bast. Gets that ball kicked away, and that's going to be a corner kick for the Raiders. So in some ways, you'll see teams like that play for that corner kick rather than trying to cross it into traffic and things like that. So Raiders are going to be very satisfied having this corner kick here. And that's Maggie McConnell again. She put on a really nice corner kick last time. We'll see what she does this time. Now the girls are not lined up outside the box. They're lined up deep, and they're going to move in a little bit. They send it over, got over the goalkeeper's head, and oh! That was a heck of a play. That's one the Raiders will look back on and wish they had a second shot at. I think that was Rancinici. She was in the right place, but got a little too much under that ball and sent it over the goal. So good attempt, good play. Half the battle's being in the right spot. Next time Rancinici will bury that shot, I'm sure. Sending a through ball up. Nicely played out by the Huskies. Raiders defensive unit is playing strong all season and continue to try to keep that ball in our offensive half. Another nice cross there. Ferrara dove for it. There's a goal for your Raiders. That is 11. Number 11 for the Raiders, that is Armana Rancinici, who missed that corner kick goal but buried that one. And there's a goal for your Raiders, number 11, Armana Rancinici with the goal. So at the 17.5-minute mark, the Raiders take the lead with a 1-0 score. That is Rancinici's third goal of the season. So she's off to a great start. 5 games and 3 goals. Really nice play by the Raiders there, and nice poise by Rancinici, because the last time she had the ball in her foot, she put it over the goal, and so this time she played that. She had a lot of poise and buried that shot nicely. And the Huskies get a throw in there. I thought there might have been a call, but sometimes people see things differently than me. My broadcast is really important too, so we can't have that disruption. Here we go, folks. The fun of being in the booth at high school sports. Here we go. So back into the action. Raiders lead. We're moving into the 20-minute mark by a score of 1-0. Huskies defense has played very well to keep that score where it is. And Raiders are back on the attack. There's Ransonici again. Tillman steps up, trying to keep that ball alive. Nicely played by Nevea. Takeaway by Ferrara. He's going to try to reach that ball. It just is moving too fast, though. And that's going to be a goal kick for Huskies. It's 11. Entering the game for the Huskies, number 11, Julie Lemansky. Ah, well. Sort of hurt it, maybe. All right. Not sure who Queen Victoria is, but we are certainly glad you've tuned in for the lineup, and hope you enjoy the game and the broadcast. Just talking to my friend Tim Chuckle about a trip to England, and here is Queen Victoria tuning in to the match. Throw in here for the Huskies. McConnell with a nice, brought that ball down nicely and sent it up to her teammates. Huskies playing tough though. They're attacking the ball all over the field, trying to keep that ball alive and see if they can get their offensive unit to get something cooking. Raiders defense plays it. Ransonici had some time, but she tried to thread the needle there, but ends up with it again. Sends another through ball through. Raiders get around it. Ooh, just wide. It's number 22, Natalie Ramthen, with the attacking the goal from the left side and just putting it wide. Raiders trying to keep that ball alive on the far side, but it does get out of bounds, and the Huskies will have a throw in here. Big ball up by Tillman. Nicely played by, let's see, that's goalkeeper Maddie Sorensen of the Huskies. Gets the clear, but Raiders pick it up again, and now they're going to try to bring it up the field. That ball gets a little too far outpaced. It's Matea Langenal. She must have subbed in on the goal, so good to have Matea back in the match and see what she can do there, playing the right mid for the Raiders. It's hard to catch the subs when they come in off goals scored. Ransonici bringing it all the way back to McConnell, who's going to reset. That tends to spread out the defense a bit. It's a nice through ball. Ooh. Ramthen gets called for the offsides. It was close, but the ref was right there, so you got to respect the call. Thing you run into with offsides is usually when it's called, it's long after it actually happened. So it's when the ball is kicked. So most people don't actually see that moment where the offside person is. So it can be tricky to judge it without an instant replay. But the referees, that's one of their main jobs to look at, the assistant ref there on the sideline. Nice play there by Maddie Sorensen, pulling that high ball out of the air. And again, the Huskies are trying to make something happen offensively. They're going to get that ball deeper in territory. They send a left-footed blast in, kind of a miss hit. Unfortunately, that ball was moving kind of oddly, and be a goal kick for the Raiders. Number 4, Ella Bast in the game for the Raiders. So we have Ella Bast and Sophie Bast on the Raiders varsity team, a pair of sisters. Ella is a freshman and Sophie is a senior, and what a great memory these girls will have playing together at Hudson Raider Stadium and for this whole season together. Throw in coming for the Huskies. Raiders get the clear. Up to Ramthan. Sends it out wide to, I think that's Rancinici over there. No, Rancinici in the middle. Ramthan back on the ball, kind of a high spinning, twisting ball there. That's number 5. Number 5, Chloe Gregerson in the game for the Raiders. Chloe, a junior player for the Raiders, entering the match. Raiders get a nice cross there. That ball's there where you want it, but you can put the ball where you want it, and just sometimes nobody's there except the defense. And Huskies were there and got a nice clear out of that, and they're keeping this game close, despite the Raiders knocking on the door a few times. Gregerson from distance. Doesn't quite get all of her foot into that one, I don't think, and sent it wide. It'll be a corner kick for the Raiders is the call here. So Raiders have had much success over the years, including this year with corner kick attempts. And we'll see what they do here on this one. Looks like Maggie McConnell again, ready to take that kick. It's a nice ball in. Punched out nicely by Maddie Sorensen again of Eau Claire. That would have been a tough ball to grab because it was a low trajectory and a blast. So nicely played by her. I think there was an offsides on the Raiders maybe, and so Eau Claire is going to get an opportunity to just get that ball out of there. See if their offense can put something together here. That's a nice little passing sequence there, but just gets in front of the Huskies. It'll be a Raiders throw-in. I am not sure, Wicker Woman, but we sure appreciate you telling us that your video might be frozen. I don't know if my friend Jeff Munter is noticing that. It might have been a temporary thing for you. It sounds like we are playing it well. Raiders with it. And there's a blast. There's a goal for your Raiders. Like number 9. Is that right? Which number? 8? Number 8. Haley Huntley with the goal for your Raiders. It's number 8, Haley Huntley with the goal for your Raiders. So at the 28-minute mark, a lot of action going on that play, and Huntley gathered the ball in amid the disarray and found goalkeeper a little out of position from the previous shot. Really nothing Maddie Sorensen could do there. She had to defend the first opportunity, and then the ball went wide and gave Haley just a really wide open spot that she just had to put it into. And again, she had the poise to settle that ball momentarily and put that ball right where she wanted it, and the Raiders are the beneficiaries of that in a 2-goal lead now. So thank you, Catherine Peters. We're glad to have you tuning in on this cool rainy night, watching Lily Rouleau and the Raiders. Always good to have everybody tuning in, whether they're near or far. River Channel will be broadcasting a vast majority of the games that are going to be left this season. I think there's one more little road trip the Raider girls are taking more to the Madison, Eau Claire area, but we're going to broadcast more away games this year than we probably ever have. So keep tuning in for some great soccer. 30-minute mark moving into. Raiders lead 2-0 over the visiting Eau Claire North High School Huskies. Huskies defense has played admirably. Goalkeeper Maddie Sorensen playing strongly, but sometimes there's just opportunities that are tough to stop. Heck of a play there. Ella Bast really sent a nice low ball across. That's really what you want on those little crosses, to keep it low because it's easy to hit. Bouncing balls are tough to time and are a little more unpredictable. So that nice low roller across was ideal, and the Raiders her teammates just mistimed the ball. Otherwise, again, Maddie Sorensen playing that ball well as the goalkeeper, but you can't be everywhere at once, and the Raiders had a wide open look there, but timing was off, which is definitely a part of soccer, and they'll keep working to see if they can replicate that situation again. Huskies decide to bring it across the field and spread things out a bit. Not a bad idea. Tillman all over it, though, at the midfield. Just going to carry it up. Nobody on her. Sends a big cross through. Kind of a tough angle. Kind of outpaced some of her teammates, and it's gathered in by Maddie Sorensen of the Huskies. Nice take there by the Huskies, trying to keep it in their offensive end, but the Raiders' defense just continues to play strong. Going to be a goal kick here for the Huskies. Number 2, Maggie Salama back in the match for the Raiders. Not a lot of subbing going on with the Huskies. Raiders have subbed probably 7-8 players into the match. It's a pretty calm night. It seems like the drizzle and rain has let up for a while, knock on wood. Oh, there is some sleet, just hard to see, I guess. Who's that, number 24? So it is drizzling and raining still here. Number 24, Mariah Hull in the game for the Huskies. Oh, yeah, lots of rain coming, according to our local meteorologist and Assistant Activities Director, Tim Chuckle. I put a lot of grass seed down this weekend, so I'm appreciating all the rain we're getting, as anybody in the Midwest appreciates this time of year. Here comes a throw for your Raiders. Gregerson on it. shields that ball and tries to keep it alive, but stays on it nicely, and then played nicely back. Oh, just a little bit behind. Looks like Caitlin Sanders, number 10. Nice play there by Holter. Runs into a little bit, maintains control of the ball, and sends it into the middle to Caitlin Sanders. Gets it out to Gregerson. That ball got out of bounds on the Raiders, and we have about 6 minutes left in the half, and the Raiders turn that ball over, and the Huskies get the throw. No worry, Catherine Peters. It was a great goal, and we're glad you're watching and that your computer has unfrozen. We do have our moments, though, so we certainly appreciate when people let us know if something's off a little bit. My colleague Jeff Munter on the technical side doesn't have many moments like that, but sometimes I step on the cord or something and I just mess it up for him. So
that's a lie.
Big ball in by the Raiders and just sneaks by Ella Bast. Misplayed a bit there by Eau Claire goalkeeper Maddie Sorensen, and the Raiders end up with a corner kick here. So with about 4.5 minutes left, Raiders get a chance to maybe put another one on the board here. They've had some great opportunities off corner kicks. We'll see what they do here. It's another nice ball, a little bit tight to the goal. But not a bad ball. When that ball gets wet, it's sometimes a little harder to place it exactly where you want. Nice play by Salam. A little tap move, sets it up nicely. Whew, Gregerson right there with a chance. But nicely handled by Maddie Sorensen, again, of Eau Claire. She's given up a couple goals, but she's made a lot of nice stops as well. Raiders send a long ball up too far. Sorensen decides to clear that one rather than grab it and punt it. And that'll be a Raiders throw. Tillman heading up the field to take that throw. We're now down to about 3.5 minutes in the first half. Nice turn and move there. Oh, nice cut move. Lots of pressure. Pulls it back. Wow. Nice footwork there. That's number 4 of the Raiders, Ella Bast over there. Some really nice moves to keep that ball alive deep in territory. A little give and go there. Doesn't quite go the way the Raiders want, but Huskies take it. They can't rush that ball up because they didn't have any numbers with them on the attack, but Raiders defense holds strong. Huskies back at it on offense, though, trying to make something happen down here, and it's going to be a Raiders throw. Now we're allowing a sub in. Number 21, Amelia Feltis in the game for the Huskies. So the Huskies get this ball deep. We're down to about 2 minutes in the match. They sneak a ball in, but Kendhammer pulls that ball. Kind of a high shot on goal, but Kendhammer makes a nice play on it and sends it out wide to Salama, who gets it up to Ramthan. And it'll be a throw-in for the Huskies. Holter on it. Sends it all the way back to Kendhammer, which is a good move. Minute and a half, you don't want to give up any opportunities. that can change the momentum of things in the second half coming up here. Huskies still playing tough, fighting for that ball. Now down to under a minute in the first half. We will, at the half, take a 10-minute break, but so join us back promptly in 10 minutes for the second half. Raiders continue to lead 2-0 over the visiting Eau Claire North Huskies. Ken Hammer lining up a goal kick here. Now down to about 30 seconds in the half. Puts a big ball up the middle. Nicely played and popped in by the Huskies to see if they could do a little sneak attack there, but the Raiders are all over it. Huskies are going to have a corner kick. They're going to have to move quickly.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Heck of an ending to the first half there. It is halftime. Please take some time to enjoy a warm snack at the concession bar and maybe make a donation for the Rhinos cancer efforts here in the St. Croix Valley. Thanks, everybody. See you in 10 minutes.
All right, here we go. Tuning back in to the second half here, and the score of our match at kickoff here in the second half is Raiders 2, Huskies 0, and the teams have switched sides. So your Eau Claire North Huskies, if you are watching from about an hour east of Hudson here, if you're watching the Huskies, they are in white, playing from left to right on your screen now. And then we have the Raiders in blue, the home team, up 2-0 in blue, playing from right to left on your screen. Raider girls also with pink socks on to symbolize the Kick Cancer Night that the girls have put together tonight. It's a drizzly, rainy evening here. Temperatures staying reasonable so that we don't have snow at least. And the Huskies are going to get a goal kick here. In the first half, Maddie Sorensen played a very nice first half for the Huskies in goal, stopping a lot of good opportunities and averting many others. For the Raiders, Armana Ransanici scored the first goal for the Raiders. And Haley Huntley scored the second goal for the Raiders probably about 15 minutes later. So that's where our scoring sits. Raiders had a decent opportunity there, averted, and it'll be a kick for the Huskies. Big kick there by the Huskies out to the middle of the field. Ferrara sends it up, but gathered in again with a nice play by Maddie Sorensen, sophomore goalkeeper for the Huskies. Sends it up, but Raiders right there to catch that ball. Huskies try to send it deep. Raiders are going to chase this one down. Hannah Kendhammer, goalkeeper, sends it out wide. I think that's Maggie Salama over there on the far side. Hard to see numbers across the field at night. Also because the girls' hair is usually blocking the numbers, so I can't see the back very well. Huskies fighting it out, trying to keep it alive. Going to pull it back a little bit and send it up. Almost another handball there by the Raiders. Must have just missed it. Huskies again trying to play it up the line. little back and forth. That'll be a Raiders throw-in their defensive territory. Raiders sitting on a record of 4-0. Looking to extend that record to 5-0 here tonight, but Huskies playing tough to try to put an end to that win streak for the Raiders. Not sure what the Huskies' record is this season so far. If there's any Eau Claire North fans tuned in and you want to drop that in the chat, it'd be great to know how the Huskies' start of the season has been. That's a nice blast in there, but handled nicely by Hannah Kendhammer, who's going to give it a blast. Nice head over by Rancinici. And we're going to have an offsides on the Huskies. When you go for those long balls up on offense, you are going to run into offsides from time to time. And Raiders will get a free kick here at about the 45-minute mark. Again, anyone else tuning in to the match here tonight, we love to know where you're from and who you're rooting for. And so far we have Grandma Catherine Peters tuning in from Hudson on a rainy night. Don't blame you for that. And love to hear who else is out there tuning in. Ava Brown on the sideline, playing it around. Brown on it again. Sends a little off-balance through ball up, cleared by the Huskies. Ava Brown again on it. Yeah, the wet, cold weather definitely plays games with the ball and the bounces and the spins. Ball cleared by the Raiders, but the Huskies will get another throw. Not sure there's much of a wind advantage, but the Huskies are controlling the ball in their end a little bit more this half. So it looks like when looking at the rain coming down, there is a slight wind advantage. Flags are moving a little bit, but just enough that can give you a little bit of a boost offensively. Nice through ball by the Raiders. Ferrara off to the wide, sends it just a bit off the corner. That'll be a goal kick for the Huskies.
Number 22, Natalie Ramthen in the game for your Raiders.
Big sports night, NFL draft taking place right now. Minnesota Wild hockey playoff game starting, just probably started or will in a few minutes. And of course, the game of the night, the Raiders and Huskies here at Raider Stadium. We have about boys baseball team for the Raiders playing in Chippewa Falls tonight. That a rainy baseball night maybe could be interesting. Sounds like maybe it's dry in Chippewa Falls, Eau Claire area, but again, if you live out there and you tuned in, let us know. We're looking at the radar on our phones, but reality is sometimes different than what we see. I cannot get a number on that girl. 14?
Number 14, Kylie Klein in for the Huskies.
Kylie is a freshman in for the Huskies, so good to see some young players getting some playing time and developing for the future. Eau Claire, if you're unfamiliar, has two high schools, Eau Claire North, which is the Huskies here, and Eau Claire Memorial, who are both in the Big Rivers Conference. So Eau Claire's a big city, but two high schools splitting up their players and talent, and the Raiders will play both. A little bit of a scrum in front of the goal there, and Raiders not able to get a shot off. Seen a little more pizzazz out of the North players here, stepping up on balls and making a bit more happen. Must have had a little bit of a energizing halftime discussion. And we're going to be moving into about the 50-minute mark. Hometown Hudson Raiders continue to lead 2-0 over the visiting Eau Claire North Huskies. Tillman sends it out wide to Brown, gets a kind of a bouncer, gets away from her, and Huskies are going to let that go out and go for a throw-in deep in their own territory. NFL draft is a big deal for Wisconsin people because it's being held in Green Bay this year. Not sure what the weather like there is tonight. Raiders pulling it back on defense. McConnell's going to bring it all the way back to Kendhammer. Throw in there by the Raiders. Raiders again pushing it up the line. Raina Fort with the throw. Ava Brown picks it off and gets it to Ferrara. Haley Huntley sends a bouncing through ball up. Raiders bringing it back to reset. And the Raiders get the goal. Who was that? Number 4? Who? 22? Natalie Rampton? He saw it on the screen. 22.
Oh, 20.
Yeah, 22.
Sorry.
And the goal for the Raiders, number 22, Natalie Rampton.
So the Raiders, despite a lot of good defense and play by the Huskies, tack on another goal. Natalie Rampton. That is Ramthen's 4th goal of the season. Thanks for the note there, Holter family out in North Carolina. Good to hear from you, and great to hear that Ingrid is doing well and in rowing, and hope she's performing well in that, and bring us home maybe a bit of hardware for Navy there. So good to hear from you, and can't wait to see you at an upcoming match. Britta's playing a great game, so thanks for tuning in. Raiders defense, again, Huskies getting a little bit closer and closer, it feels like, every few minutes to some opportunities here offensively. Rain's coming down even stronger now. Yes, Mr. Chuckles said it was going to happen, and it's happening. I'll give him his props on that. So, a lot of weird things can happen when it's raining like this in a match. And Salama gets a little breakaway here. She's onside. She's got a couple defenders on her. She cuts nicely, steps around the goalkeeper. Oh, just there it is. There it is. Ramthen with the follow-up. And another goal for the Raiders. I think that was 22 again. Maggie Salama went down with seemingly a bit of an injury. She seems to be walking slowly off the sideline. We'll hope she's good. She made a heck of a play there. Not able to get the shot off well, but that probably was because she hurt her knee a bit there. 22 again.
Number 22, Natalie Ramthen with the goal for the Raiders.
A little less excitement from the crowd due to the potential injury to Maggie Salama, but Maggie's tough. We'll see where that ends up, but 4-goal lead is good for the Raiders. Good to maybe let Maggie take the rest of this game off and make sure she stays healthy for the season, hopefully. So we'll keep you posted and see if she does come back into the game or not. She did walk off somewhat on her own power, a little bit of a limp. So we're just going to hope everything's good for her. Uh-oh. Ramthen. A misplay by Maddie Sorensen, and Natalie Ramthen gets the second half hat trick here tonight and scoots in another goal for the Raiders. That was.
That's the hat trick goal for number 22, Natalie Ramthen.
CHAMPSELYSEES. I've been there.
Say it again.
Champs. And then I think it's ELYSEES. ELYSEES. I think that's close. All right, folks. This game has taken a turn. The Raiders now up 5-0 at about the 56-minute mark. Solidly in control. Maddie Sorensen, though, again, the goalkeeper for the Huskies, has played a really nice game. A little bit of a misplay on that last one, but again, as we pointed out, it's raining and it's slippery, and the predictability is more difficult in those conditions, and that was just something we hadn't seen from her all game. So Raiders putting a lot of pressure on offensively, and we'll have a throw in here. Some subs coming in. 2. 5, maybe? 2. No, who's that? 2? 2. That's Salama. She's back in. She's good.
Number 2, Maggie Salama back in the game for your Raiders. And number 5, Chloe Gregerson in the match.
So Salama has shaken off the injury, it looks like, unless I was mixed up there, but she's looking good and back in the match for the Raiders. She really was key to that fourth goal. She made a nice move with 2 people closing in, and she cut back on them, and then she got around the goalkeeper, and but then something maybe twinged in her leg a little bit, and she was not able to finish that. But Natalie Ramthen was there to put the finishing touches on, but great play on that by Salama. All right, 58-minute mark. Throw in here for the Huskies. Big ball up. It's going to be a foot race. Huskies are getting in front of it. They're going to get a cross on here. Too much defense, though. They pull it back. Good play by the Huskies, but Raiders defense all over the place, ready to defend it with that much time passing by. Salama on it again. He's going to send it up to Ferrara. Passport? About $200. Unless you expedite it, then it costs more, but you get plenty of time. All right. 59-minute mark. Throw in coming for the Huskies. Our score still Raiders 5, Huskies 0. Quick ball movement there by the Raiders, but it gets away from them. And the Huskies will have another throw-in. Missed a sub there. That's all right. Wicked ball bouncing through the crowd there, but Ferrara's on it. Gets it up to Sophie Bast. Gets it out to Salama. Cuts back. Maggie McConnell with a nice take there. Sends it out wide to Nevaeh Tillman. Throw in by the Huskies. Big collision there. No harm, no foul. Game plays on. Now down to about 19 minutes in the half. Raiders kick that ball out, so the Huskies will have a throw in here. Darkness coming in, but still lots of rain coming down now. You can see the field actually getting a little bit wet, although it does drain well. Raiders bringing it all the way back on defense to Kendhammer. He's going to play it out wide rather than giving it a big boot. The Raiders will try to work this ball up the field, which they've had a lot of success on this season. Just a lot of passing to move the ball up the field, not a lot of big kicks and trying to chase that ball down. So good soccer being played by these Raiders. Sometimes you got to pay extra for the picture, though, than just the passport.
How about updating a passport? If I have one, but it just needs to be updated.
Is it current or is it expired?
It's expired. I can do it. That's not a big deal. I'm just.
Throw here for the Huskies. Big head out by the Raiders there. Ransonici. Tonight so far we have goals for the Raiders by Armana Ransonici and Haley Huntley. And then the last 3 goals in the second half by Natalie Ramthen. It's not often you see a hat trick in high school soccer, let alone in one half. So Ramthen, very opportunistic, but also had a lot of poise to put those shots in the goal, because a lot can go wrong on any opportunity like that. Raiders going for the through ball. Raiders got it out wide again. Huskies defense swarming. Get the clear. Raina Fort over to Haley Huntley. Sending it out to, I think that's Gregerson over there, a little hard to see. Scoots by, a little inadvertent handball, and the Raiders is going to put an end to that attack, and we'll give the Huskies a throw at about the 64-minute mark. So we're closing in on the last 16 minutes of our match tonight. Big clear by the Huskies goalkeeper. Again, this broadcast is brought to you by the River Channel, and my friend Jeff Munter sets everything up so that you have your viewing and sound and all the special effects and great things like that. I show up and talk, and we're a good combo because I don't know much of that other stuff. So
This year.
You can redo it online.
In for the Huskies, number 21, Amelia Feltus.
corner kick here for the Huskies. Corner kicks are always a dangerous time. They're going to play it short and move it in, try to get a shorter opportunity. Oh, sneaky little play there, but Tillman's able to keep it out. And it was. She came in, and I wasn't expecting that little blast there to the pipe. But goes out off Tillman, and the Huskies will have another corner kick attempt. This time it looks like they're going to go more traditional since it's one person. Oops. Kick coming. It's actually a nice ball, but nobody there for the Huskies to do anything with it.
Send it outside. Send it.
Farah sends it up to Bast, who cuts in nicely. She's got 2 closing. No foul called. And Raiders will reset. Ransonici sends a long ball in, and taken in by Maddie Sorensen of the Huskies, and threat averted for the Huskies. Despite the score differential, we've seen a lot more solid play and passing out of the Huskies in the second half. And so it's been a little more, at least competitive on the field. The scoring's been a little bit slanted towards the Raiders here, but Huskies have played a much stronger second half, I think, from what I've seen, than in the first half. Credit to them to come out strong like that. They continue to battle as well. We're now down to under 13 minutes in the match. Rain keeps coming.
Oh, see, the thing is it now a square?
Big clear by the Raiders, wanting to really maintain this shutout. Defenses and teams in general pride themselves on scoring goals, but also on shutting things out. Ransonichi just about threads the needle there.
What's up, boss? Friday the 19th.
Good move there by Salama. Uses her speed to get around. Again, the Huskies defense playing strong, but Raiders continuing to keep it moving in the box. Back to Salama from Ransonichi. Just bringing it farther back. Tillman's going to carry it up. Salama's going to cover her on defense. Good coverage play there by the two. And Huskies get another clear. Sending it out wide to Salama. It's going to be a Huskies defense holds strong again and gets the clear. And if Tillman will take the throw, we have a whole bunch of people subbing in. We're just going to let that one slide. And we're now down to moving in on 10 minutes left in the match. Raiders solidly ahead 5-0 over the Huskies. For those of you unfamiliar, Eau Claire is about an hour east of Hudson. Large city with a big university, actually my alma mater, so I know Eau Claire well, and a great community. Raiders with the throw. Send that ball out wide, and the Huskies just can't catch up. That'll be a Raiders throw. Throw there by Holter. Connell with a little deceptive step there and gets the ball back and cuts in. Sends it out wide to Ava Brown. Sends a nice ball up the middle. Nice ball up the middle to Sophie Bast, who kind of had a bouncy, twisty ball there to deal with. And Huskies end up with the ball. Purple Lightning, we're glad you could join us from Eau Claire. Your girls have performed well tonight despite the score, and I think they've got a bright future ahead of them as well. So I don't blame you. It's not a great night to be sitting in the stands, so glad we could be here for you to enjoy it from the comforts of your home where you're nice and warm and dry. Raiders continue to keep the shutout. We're now down to about 8.5 minutes left. We'll see if they can keep that up. The Huskies, again, this half are applying quite a bit more pressure, and they would certainly love to put something on the scoreboard here before the end of the match. Rainy weather, things get tricky. You never know. Huskies keeping it in the offensive half. That's half the battle is when you can keep the ball in your half so that you can keep the ball in your scoring area in general.
Number 10, Caitlin Sanders in for the Raiders.
Purple Lightning, I just noticed you are Maddie's mom, the Eau Claire goalkeeper. Despite the score, she's really played a nice match, and you should be proud of her. And she'll get better and better as just a sophomore. Raiders with the throw now. About 7.5 minutes left. Ball comes through. Husky's going to play it all the way back. Sending the ball up deep to the center where they pick off the rebound off the Raiders defense. Ava Brown on it on the sideline for the Raiders now. Really nice defensive play there by the Huskies, two-person defense, which one person kind of applying pressure on the ball and the other one ready to pick off the only angle that the pass can go to. It's a great strategy in soccer defense, and we're seeing that well played by both teams tonight, actually. Big throw in by the Raiders, cleared by the Huskies.
In for the Huskies, number 16, Emily Vang, and number 5, Leah Ludke.
I was watching these Husky girls before they entered the game, and it must be that rain is making it quite chilly, I think, for the girls on the field and the referees and coaches as well, and because there was some serious shivering. So they'll probably be glad to get in the game. Oh, good through ball there by the Raiders, but just out of reach. We're now down to about the 5-minute mark. Goal kick here for the Huskies, down to about 5 minutes. Big kick there off to the off center a bit to the far side of the field, but the Raiders pick it up. And cleared out of bounds by the Huskies for a Raiders throw. Little bouncer there. Huskies playing tough down deep. Raiders trying to get another goal on the board, but Huskies keeping them out. Clock keeps ticking. We're down now to close to 4 minutes left in the match. Rain coming down as strong as ever. Big clear by the Huskies out wide. They're going to have a little space to carry this ball up the field. Gonna try to send it up along. Nice ball movement there. Another give and go on the sideline. Slipping all over the place. You can tell that this turf, which does drain well, but when it gets wet, it's slippery. Probably maybe even a bit more slippery than regular grass because you don't have that dirt to dig into. But we're not seeing too much slipping and sliding tonight, so it must not be terribly bad. But sometimes your cleats can be the difference too if you have long cleats, short cleats. Or sometimes you just fall over in soccer too sometimes. All right, we are now down to about 3 minutes in the match. Goal kick coming from Hannah Kendhammer of the Raiders. On behalf of my colleague Jeff Munter and myself, we again appreciate everybody tuning in. I think we have a match next Thursday again with Raiders girls soccer here. And again, I think almost every match coming up will be broadcast. There's maybe a few away games. The May 10th game will probably be broadcasting, and I'll do a little voiceover announcing I'll be gone that Saturday for my older son's college graduation, which is exciting. But we will definitely be sharing a lot of girls soccer for the remainder of this season, and hope you all keep tuning in to see this team and how they perform. Looks like they are going to go 5-0 for the start of the season, which is fantastic. And the Raiders will get a goal kick here. We're now down to about 2 minutes left in the match. Kendhammer will line that up. Foul on the Raiders, and Huskies will get a kick in a dangerous territory here. Ref pulls it back a little bit, but still it's within the range of putting it in the scoring area where anything can happen on a wet night. So we'll see what the Huskies can do here. Stop the clock. Looks like we might have a minor injury, so the ref is stopping the clock for a quick sub. Down to about 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Huskies going to get an interesting opportunity here. Not seeing many heading to the middle of the scoring area. It's a low, long blast, and not a bad ball from that far, but nicely handled by Hannah Kendhammer. And Raiders now with about 1 minute left, hold their shutout. That's a nice through ball, and that's Sophie Bast up there on the ball. But the Huskies defense again plays strong and disrupts that play. Big punt by the Huskies. McConnell in the middle, where she's been a stalwart for many years, carrying that ball up. Sends the ball out wide nicely. Little chip across, nicely played, but nice play by the Huskies defense there to just disrupt it enough and get it out of the box. And here we go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. There's our match. I'd like to thank our teams for a great game on Kick Cancer Night here. I'd like to thank our officials and coaches for a great match as well. We had a group of young friends around the field helping collect balls. Thank you for doing that on a rainy, cold night. We appreciate all of our fans coming from Eau Claire and elsewhere to visit and watch this match, and we hope everybody drives safely and has a good night tonight. Thanks, everybody.